Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Lizardboy here, and for today's video, I thought I'd do a movie review. I know this is probably the first one I've ever done, though, but I'm going to be doing my thoughts and review on Kong Skull Island, though. I have actually did see this movie in theaters, though, and I do want to tell you guys what my thoughts are, my review on it, though, and I do have, like, my little tablet right here for little notes, though. I know you're probably thinking I'm looking at the whole thing, though, but no, I'm just a little bit of a reminder of what's going on, though. Like, I remember the plot and everything like that. I just can't remember the cast a little bit like that, though, the cast and crew. But, so yeah, let's go ahead and get into this review and my thoughts, though, about Kong Skull Island. So, at first, when it opens up the credits, though, it doesn't show anything like that, though. It actually says somewhere in the Pacific. Oh, I should mention, guys, if you haven't seen this movie, or if you did, major spoiler alerts. I am so sorry I forgot to say that. Spoiler alerts, guys, if you haven't seen this, though. So yeah, so let's get back to it. So it opens up as somewhere in the Pacific, 1945, and it shows the planes during the war of World War II. No, I'm not very good with my history, though. What's going on? But basically, it shows like the Americans going against Japan, though, at that time, though. So we see two pilots, though, which was I forgot they. Let me see the names. Which is Hank Marlin and basically you see a young John C. Riley's character Hank fighting with another Japanese guy, and they landed on this island though that you can't tell what it was. So they go off into the jungle trying to chase each other though, and all of a sudden you see them fist fighting though into into a little into try to kill each other though, and you see one of the Japanese actor though, he brings out a sword though, a katana though, like right before he gets to kill Hank. I know you look to their left, and they actually see Kong rising on top of the mountain though. Like you immediately, they actually show Kong like right immediately though, and all you see that them is pausing and looking at it though, and that's it. And all of a sudden, they shows the title Kong Skull Island, and they fast forward time. I forgot how many years it was, but now we fast forward to the time 1973. That was during the time of Vietnam though that was going on though. And all of a sudden you come on to the next characters, which is John Goodman into it though, which is William. That's his character's name. Trying to get into Congress though to make them go to this island though. Do a little research though on the basically how the ground level works and how the Earth reacts to things though. So they ask permission though to get the Congress though to actually pass them to go to the island though. But right before, so they have to ask them to get a bunch of military people to come in with them though, to actually escort them to the island though. So they fast forward. Now we got to see all the close to the end of Vietnam. These soldiers were about to leave, but they got called up again to go with them on this mission though. Now they don't know what's really going on though. So they find out. Now they get to the other main character, which is the captain, which is Peterson, which is played by Samuel L. Jackson, which I was surprised he was in this movie. So they fast forward, they get the call saying, hey, we're going to this island. Do a little research, so they don't know what's going on. So then, and then William, sorry, I'm trying to keep focus on the character's name. Williams actually goes to like this Middle East, downtown somewhere in Bangkok or China though, to actually get James Conner, played by Tom Hiddleston to to actually get an explorer to actually go with them though, to be on the safe precautions though. So they all meet up on the same ship that's leaving Bangkok to go straight to the island though. So they actually had a little meeting though in a little room though, and you can see what they were trying to do. Basically, just trying to do an excavation though of what's going on with the island and stuff though. And they actually show pictures of the island, which actually does look like a skull, but like half a skull, which is pretty interesting though. And so we actually get another main character though, which is the photographer, which is Brie Madison, which is played by Brie Larson. She was amazing in this movie though. They all look at each other, they try to figure out like why is she coming along and stuff like that. And she's an official photographer that was supposed to get pictures of the Vietnam War and stuff like that. So she's coming in with the island though. So as they immediately leave the boat, they come across a pair of these, I guess, electrical storms that was going on though, making sure they're getting to the island though. Everything like that. And as they pass the storm, they actually come across the island. They see a whole bunch of mountains, range. I mean, it looked beautiful though. The way the sunset though, and how the mountains and the island was though. Which was really nice. So then they came across landing though. And they just go ahead and start excavating though. And they start dropping these bombs. I don't know why though. They started thinking like, why are you doing this though? And stuff like that. To see how the earth reacts to it though. And then all of a sudden you see the famous iconic trailer scene though where the trees fly in the air and hits the helicopter though. Crashes down. And that's where they actually see Kong rising up. And you see the sunset in the background, like all that famous trailers though and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, they try to figure out what it is. Maybe they can't see it though, much of the times. And you see the giant hand hitting the helicopter, like all the other trailers are. And basically, try to figure out what it is, who is he though, and all of a sudden they actually start shooting Kong. And all of them start going down, the helicopters, Kong takes them down. Everything like that. And I noticed that all of them were trying to escape from him though. And next we actually start meeting up with the groups though. They actually start splitting up goods because every time the helicopters blow up though, they separate though. And so we get to the next part, which is, sorry, my throat's a little dry. And so we get to the next part though, when they're actually trying to find each other though, and they notice William is actually okay, and they start talking to Patterson, trying to figure out, hey, like what's going on here? And he actually pulls out the gun and tries to figure out what's really going on here. And so Patterson's trying to explain that actually monsters really do exist. Now this was 1973. This is the first time they've seen Kong. And turns out William was actually been that island before on a different battleship though, a long time ago though. And he actually was the only survivor though that actually saw what he actually saw, which is Kong. And basically he wants to prove that he exists. And basically show him like the world that what he really does. And so as they travel along, trying to get to the waypoint though, trying to get back to the main ship though, before the helicopters come pick them up, they keep going and going through all these obstacles that are in the way, like in the bamboos though, with Patterson and William though, they come across these giant spider-like insects though, which was pretty weird and creepy though. I mean, it was pretty interesting how it does. And so they get back to the, as they leave, making sure they actually shot the damn spider though. we get to see him for another part of the crew though, which they actually started looking way across though. Just keep going and going to the waypoint. All of a sudden, they came across this giant water bison though, which I don't know what it was. I guess it was a water buffalo or something like that, but bigger. And then we cut to the next group, and they come across going through the swamps and everything like that, and they see like these weird bird-like bats creatures, like thousands of them. And so they actually one of the other characters, so he came along with them. And I don't know what he was. He got dragged off by one of the birds and died. And so we go back to the other group. So as they're going along, they actually come across these ruins that was on previous, and then they first came up with the first native there. This little native girl, though. And so, as they're looking around trying about to get captured by it, all of a sudden, we get Hank from earlier, though. Fast forward to an old man, and he's there. He's trying to explain, like, don't attack these people. I've been waiting for them for so long, though. And he's been explaining, like, why he's on this island, how he got stuck, what war he was, a lot of that. And it turns out the entrance to the village, and it's actually surrounded by a giant wall, not to keep Kong in, though, just to keep some other thing out, though. He explained so. And so as they started looking around inside this little pillar thing, all these ruins, though, they actually see markings on the walls of what Kong really is. And I actually see these other creatures, and it actually explains what a skull crawler was. And they tried debating, like, oh, don't call it a skull crawler, then it sounds ridiculous and stuff like that, which was pretty funny, though. And so he explains that he's here to actually protect the land, that island, though, from those creatures, though. And just try to keep peace on there, though. So that's why he attacked the helicopters, and because of those bombs they drop, they actually release the skull crawlers onto the island, though, now. And it shows a little scene of him fighting them off, the little ones, and he actually explains that there's actually a bigger skull crawler than Kong. And they try to figure out, well, is there a way to actually get off the island, though? And he says, yes, he's been building, like, this boat. Hank, he's been building this boat from the ruins of these, well, the crash land of the planes, though, that he landed on. So they made, like, a makeshift boat with a plane, though. And as Madison actually goes around and starts looking at all the way around, she notices that a helicopter crash was nearby, and turns and looks up, and there's Kong right there, though, looking at her, though, and walks away. So as she goes back around, though, we cut to another group, though, which was this one lone survivor soldier. I forgot his name, though. Or, well, I think they call him Bill, or a son. He has a son named Bill. He come across this lake, this watering ridge, trying to get some water, and looks up, and there's Kong walking across. And what's pretty cool about this scene is you see Kong looking around. He looks down, and like these tentacles start coming up from the water, and it's a giant octopus. And he's fighting with it, though, which was... It doesn't last long, but it's kind of random, but it's kind of cool, though. So he rips off one of the tentacles, and Kong starts eating one of the tentacles, which was pretty... I was like... And so, as Kong leaves, we get back to the other group trying to finish up the boat, and they start arguing about, like, why is he protecting this land, and why'd you guys come here in the first place? And then he says he's been stuck here, and it turns out the Japanese guy that he was fighting, though, turns out he dies, but they didn't say, like, how. And so as the other group, was trying to cross. They really wanted, what was it, Patterson was determined to actually kill Kong because he killed his armed men. When we get back to the other group, they actually start to finish up the boat. And Hank looks over though and sees all the natives saying goodbye to him though. Basically, he's leaving the island, and so now they finally get to catch up with with the other group though now. And now we get to the other parts that when they finally catch up to the groups, they finally start walking across, and they start arguing about like King Kong is here to actually save us though but Patterson really wants to actually kill him though because he killed his men. So they went back to one of the main helicopters on the actually grabbed some napalm, all the guns and everything like that to kill him though. So as night, and then turns into night though, and sorry. So as it turns into nighttime though, Madison and James start walking along, saying that this island's so peaceful because of Kong, and all of a sudden Kong shows up in the middle of the night and actually sees them two trying to get off the season though. All of a sudden Madison actually comes really close and actually touches Kong like his nose, and saying that like he's such a peaceful giant though and everything like that. And all of a sudden you hear this big explosion though, which is the napalm they actually put in the water though. Looking across, he runs off. Kong tries to figure out like what's going on, and he sees Patterson right there. Like he's actually trying to kill him. So right as Kong gets into the water, he actually throws a lighter, and the napalm in the water spreads like crazy. Everyone's looking at each other, probably thinking, "Oh my God, Kong's dead," and Patterson's just smiling, trying to finally kill him though. But no, he gets up and he sees him. All of a sudden, James and Madison's trying to stop him, saying why he's doing this, and like he's here to protect, and Kong's trying to protect the land, which is pretty nice. Trying to get a good dialogue of why though. So as they try to, right before, as they about to, oh, I forgot to mention that he actually got like these bombs too that actually put charges around the hole where Kong is though right now. Like right before as they flips that switch, they look to their right or the left, and they notice the water bubbling up, and he sees the giant skull crawler come out of the water. It was a pretty big one. It's like, and the skull crawlers are like weird lizards with just their legs, and they got skulls for like heads, which is pretty long, like the long way. And so we see that Kong's trying to fight them though, but right before he fights the skull crawler though, he actually kills Patterson though. Basically like that. And so as they were trying to go through all the lands, they do come across this one field of all these dead. I want to say there's a King Kong parents though. Like they're trying to figure out like these parents though. And you see a bunch of these skulls and everything like that. And they walk across and they notice like how they all die, and they're thinking about like all the skull crawlers killed them, and Kong's the only ones left of his species. So as they're walking through, they notice one of the skull crawlers came out of the ground though, but trying to look around, and all of a sudden John Goodman's character, William though, gets killed, like immediately. And they try to figure out where he is, and they try shooting it though. They actually destroy it though by this fire though, or explosion. I forget what it was. And so they pass on, and they finally shoot this flare to signal the boat though that actually come rescue them. with Hank and everything like that. But right before, as they get right into that boat, they saw the giant skull crawler coming across the mountain, though. And they see Kong coming across behind him, though. And they start bowing out. And they actually tried doing the, like the famous T-Rex versus Kong scene, though. Like, he really doesn't, like, rip its jaw, though. Like, it was close, but he still throws it, though. He tackles it, though. And they actually find these weird old ships on the island, though. On the island, though. And then they start using those, and they notice Kong actually grabs, like, one of the ships and smashes it with the skull crawler, though. And you see Madison actually shoots a flare at the skull crawler, though, to distract it, though. And so she gets knocked off by the mountain. She sees Kong. And so Kong actually kills the skull crawler with, like, I want to say, no, he jams his hand down the throat of the skull crawler, pulls out its insides, though, which is kind of a bit of an overkill and stuff like that. And so, as Kong saves Madison, though, he finally gives her back to the humans, though, the other group, though. And as they finally came across the waypoint, we actually see the helicopters came up and to save them, though. And now we actually see, what was it? And we actually see Kong actually trying to do his, like, a roar, kind of, though, to actually see the, like, last victory before the credits, though. And you just see him there, standing, though, and saying goodbye to the humans and stuff like that. And what was pretty cool, and that was it. And during the credits, we actually see Hank finally coming up to his house, and you actually see this boy actually open up the door, and it actually turns out that's his son. And all of a sudden, behind the son is his wife. And actually comes around, beyond shocked that she's still alive, that he's still alive. And you actually see him back with his family, though, during the credits, which was pretty cool right there. And yeah, that's my review on the Kong Skull Island right there. I mean, sorry if I miss anything or anything like that. But so my thoughts are a 10, probably 10 out of 10. I mean, this movie was really amazing. Different from any other Kong movie, though, that's for sure. And I mean, I like the skull crawlers were really good. I really like the skull crawlers. They're really interesting looking, though, creatures. I mean, you don't get that much creatures in here, like the bird bats, Kong, a giant octopus, a few insects here and there, and these war buffalo bisons, though, which was pretty cool. But the background, the effects were amazing, though. I mean, you get the main characters killed off here and there. But all in all, I really enjoy this movie. Make sure you guys actually go see it, though, before it's out of theaters. So it's really amazing. And oh, guys, if you haven't seen the movie, or if you did, stay after the credits, though, please. It was a big shock to see what's after the credits, though. But thank you guys so much for watching this. I really hope you guys actually enjoyed this little review I did. Though. I'm sorry if I missed anything, or that I didn't point anything out, though. Make sure if you guys did, though. If I missed anything, put it in the comments below what I missed and stuff like that. But I really hope you guys go see that movie. That's really awesome. But thank you guys so much for watching this. I will do more reviews of these kind of movies pretty soon. I'm really hoping so. I do. But thank you guys so much for watching this. I hope I see you guys in the next video. Bye.